Hello, welcome to Podcast versus Player. We're doing the Castalorian, a show we should have done 8 episodes ago, but we didn't. So we thought we'd start with probably one of the best episodes. As always, I'm joined by Darren Brown. It's Dan! Not really Darren Brown. I said it right this time, Dan, as well. I didn't say Darren.
Yeah, good for you.
And I can do names now. And Zoe and Baby Yoda. There he is. Right. I'm going to jump straight in. I thought it was a bloody good start to the season.
I'd say this is a more compelling start to the last one. Like the first.
Yeah, it was a lot faster.
Yeah, but I think it's probably because they've got like all the establishing stuff done now.
Yeah.
So like they don't need to worry about backstory and whatever. Now they can actually start getting into what this series is going to be about. So yeah, people keep on saying Baby Yoda.
The child.
The child is fine.
Shall we give it a name?
I still think it's a clone. I think it's a clone of Yoda.
A clone? A cloder?
Cloder.
Yeah.
Cloneder.
Yeah, it's not quite as catchy. It's not going to roll off the tongue as much as Baby Yoda is.
It could be... Nah. Just interesting on about speed. I don't know if this is... I didn't actually fact check, but according to the notes I've made, this episode was directed by Jon Favreau, written by Jon Favreau, and produced by Jon Favreau. And I think he played every character as well.
It sounds like it, yeah. Well, because Pedro Pascal's still in this one. At what point does he actually drop out? Is it for the next season?
Well, no, because it hasn't been confirmed. It was a rumour that he'd fallen out about he wanted more screen time without the helmet, and they were like, no,
that's not a Mandalorian.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, this seems to be the only kind of canonical thing where they have to keep the helmets on, because in the movies, in the other TV shows, they've all got the helmets off. So I don't know whether it's to make it more of a lone gunman mystery type thing.
Except Boba Fett, because Boba Fett doesn't take his helmet off in any of the films.
He does in the remaster, when he sat at the table. And he's got his feet up. Have I made this up?
Possibly.
Maybe.
I can't remember. I swear blind. There's the scene when
there's a comic where he's got the thing off, but where he's got his helmet off and he's I'm pretty sure that they haven't, because that means that they'd have to not only Photoshop his helmet off, but then also put what's his name, Tamara Morrison. Morrison, that's it. Yeah. They'd have to then superimpose his head onto it as well, which just seems an absolute faff for no reason.
I don't know where I got that from.
Maybe
there's a Mr. Sunday Movies episode where there is a comic where Boba Fett is in Cloud City, I think it is. Yeah,
that's where it is, because it's the What If one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah. Well, not What If, but an alternate tale.
Yeah.
That's where I've got it from.
They haven't done that in live action until now.
Got you.
Not until now, anyway.
Well, we'll get on to that, because that's spoiler territory. So what I've done, Dan, is I've made... One thing that's missing from The Mandalorian is the iconic text scroll. So what I've done, Dan, is I've made you one, and you're going to read it.
Was there a text scroll in the last one?
None of them. This is what I'm saying, it's missing. So,
from the whole thing?
So I'm going to do you one. It's mostly just for this episode. It's very brief. I just thought it would be somewhat fun.
Is this to summarise the last season, or...?
No, this is just for, like, a little bit... More of a synopsis of this episode.
Okay.
But we're going to do it in a fun way. I'm going to turn the sound off because we're going to get copyrighted for it.
Okay.
I just thought it was fun to have the sound.
It's Disney Plus with a plus.
Shut up. You've ruined it already.
Oh, God, hopefully that's a lot smoother on yours than it is when I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's probably because we're going through the interwebs.
Yeah.
If it don't work,
we'll
they
don't use 9, they use Roman numerals, don't they?
Not in The Mandalorian.
No, I mean, like, in the films where they...
This is Mandalorian. Read it!
Right. Seeking of the Mandalorians to help him reunite the child with its mammy and pappy, the Mandalorian approaches criminal Gor Koresh, who supposedly knows their whereabouts. Mando beats the shit out of Koresh's goons, and Koresh reveals that he has heard of another Mandalorian operating on Tatooine.
Spelt right as well.
The child is present and show stealing as always. Really? I didn't get that sense.
No, I did.
You just hate Baby Yoda, don't you?
It's so fucking overhyped. I mean, get over it.
It's not. Come on.
Obi-Wan Guacamole is the little Dickens, not the cute. What are you on about, you fucking idiot? He sets off to find a familiar face helmet. That's it. Yeah, that bit's fine. Get rid of that second paragraph.
That's it.
That's ridiculous.
That's all it was.
Yeah, I mean, but he doesn't do anything in this episode. He's not making people fly around. He's not healing.
Not
people,
overly so, no.
So it's just another plot device.
It's mostly for comedy reasons in this episode, such as
his little ears flapping.
Yeah, like when they're on the speed on the land speeder and his little ears like and in the when they're in the like at the fight club and he sees him get the what are they called? The little missiles.
It's like whistling sparrows.
Something like that, isn't it? Whatever they're called anyway, and he sees them and he's like, woo! That was quite funny.
But again, it's a good joke, but it's not going to aim at him, is it?
Well, more to the point, he could have just gone and just got rid of them all. Use the Force.
Yeah, use the Force, Baby Yoda.
I mean, I'm assuming he doesn't fully understand it, which is why he's not using it, but...
Probably.
Yeah. But I have made a few notes, though, Dan. We are going to go into full spoilers, so if you haven't watched this episode of The Mandalorian, get a life. You know, what are you doing?
Get
Disney Plus.
Steal it like done.
Doesn't steal it. We pay for it. It's not stealing.
And I bought it.
Yeah.
I bought it, just I don't use it.
Why did you buy it?
He bought it for somebody else, and then we bought it for Dan.
A wedding present.
See? Paying it forward.
Wow.
That's what they had in mind, I'm sure.
And if you are listening, Disney, we're not breaking the law.
No,
it's family.
Password.
Yeah. Did you notice a couple of things, Dan? I've made some little notes for some little Easter eggs.
Okay. I did see a few whilst we were going.
There we are then. So hopefully you've got some. You shut up. Hopefully.
What are you laughing at?
Here we are then.
Hopefully we've got some that we both haven't got. That would be a lot more interesting.
Well, I haven't written them
fair
down.
enough then. So Peli Mott's R5D4 droid is the same one from A New Hope that Uncle Owen nearly buys. So
is it actually the same model then?
Supposedly so, according to the internet. So just for you, Zoe, this one, that's the one from The Mandalorian. That's the one from A New Hope.
They look the same.
And they're both on Tatooine. So there's literally all the bridging it together with.
Yeah.
But didn't that one explode?
It was broke, wasn't it? Malfunctioned. It didn't erupt into a million pieces.
No, but it just sort of broke down, and then that's when they took R2. Yeah.
Yeah, C-3PO's like, not that one. Go for that one. I don't know why he's like a zombie.
Oh, don't go for that one.
What you doing? Get that one. That's what he did. But yes, that was a nice little fun one. And another callback to another Star Wars film. Are you ready for this one, Dan? This one's pretty cool. I've lost it already.
I think I know what it's going to be. But
boom. The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it was. It's a pod racer.
It's a pod racer engine.
Now that's the thing. When I saw that it was a pod racer engine, I clocked it straight away, and I was like, "That's awesome." But I was trying to figure out from memory which pod racer was it, because I was like, "Was it Anakin? Was it Sebulba's?" I couldn't quite remember, but yeah, from the looks of it,
it's
that is
definitely
Anakin's.
Plus, it makes sense with it being on Tatooine as well.
Parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, wouldn't that mean that he could go like 1,000 times faster than that old busted
Well, it's also
speedbike?
like a bazillion years old, and it was knackered, and it's only one of the engines that's powering that whole speeder.
But it was built by Darth Vader.
Yeah, but maybe Darth Vader...
Future-proof.
Yeah, he knows his stuff, and the same as cars these days, once it's left the lot, it's lost like $5,000 of its stuff, and it'll only last 10 years.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was a really cool, nice little nod to an otherwise awful film.
Build his bike out of a pod racer engine.
I think that's well cool. Yeah. And a super good one that probably me and Dan will appreciate more than you, Zoe. But I did think about the crate dragon.
Yeah, now the crate dragon is interesting because again, it's something that Mandalorian, probably Boba Fett, I think. He fought one. It was like a rite of passage.
Yeah,
but it was more dragon-esque than just like a big snake.
Yeah, this was like some tremors, like coming under the ground and stuff.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, just a big earthquake.
But
I mean, it was still enormous. And
it was fucking
it wasn't
great.
Quite as...
but your little Easter egg, Dan, is this?
I thought that was an egg. Just reading your notes, a pearl.
That thing, apparently, is a crate dragon pearl.
Use them in lightsaber construction.
So,
yeah, because that's so weird, right? Because they pulled the pearl out and they were like, "Woo, we found the pearl," and I was just like, "I know that for something like a crate dragon pearl. That's too specific of a thing."
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I didn't make the connection but as soon as I saw that picture of Cotter, I was like, you make lightsabers
exactly.
Yeah, brilliant.
Well, they're not going to make a lightsaber of it, but no, the fact that it's Cotter, does that mean everything in Cotter's canon now?
100%. Darth Revan.
This is where Darth Revan gets his lightsaber from. Like,
imagine that if he cut his
years
way
in
out
the
of
past.
that stomach. Yeah, just like...
Imagine if on that, when the Jawas pick up, future spoilers, the guy, and he's looking around and he sees the specific armour, for future spoilers. Imagine if Darth Revan's helmet was there or something. That'd be amazing.
But then it's never mentioned.
Yeah, like they don't do anything on it. It's just like as the cameras going past, and then it kind of just like it's enough so that you see it, but you're still focusing on the armor. But I know you don't know who Darth Revan is, but if he made it into any kind of Star Wars stuff,
boo, boo, Zoe.
Right, you know Darth Vader.
Vaguely.
No, Vader.
Yeah.
Darth Vaguely. He's like he was the bad guy from the Jungle Book.
He was a Sith.
He wasn't sure.
He might not have been.
He was a Darth Civ. I think that's it, really, for like super interesting Easter eggs. Yeah, they're the super interesting Easter eggs that I'd got.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think again, I didn't really think to write anything down because I was just kind of
caught up in the moment.
I didn't have anything to whinge about. Yeah, absolutely it was. Because the first time when I watched the first season, it was just like it was just never-ending landscape shots.
Yeah.
It was just someone just walking from one side of the screen to the other, and it was just sort of like, I get it, and it's atmospheric and whatever, but
get on with it.
Come on, like we've got 6 episodes or whatever this season. Can we just fucking get some action?
I think that's why this one was nearly an hour long. Getting what you can.
Yeah. So there was some. I really like the fact that when he's having that little fight in the boxing ring, outside the boxing ring. So the Gamorreans, obviously, they're kicking the shit out of each other. But then when there's what are they? Is it a Zabrak with the Darth Maul?
Because there's 2 different races of them, isn't there? You got Darth Mauls, and then you've got like the more native race.
It's like Dathomir.
Yeah. He's like a Dathomir Zathrak, and then you've got
anyway.
like your standard Zathrak, something like that.
Zabrak.
Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black. Jack Black. But when they're fighting and he keeps on hitting him in the helmet, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then he goes to hit him again and he just like headbutts his hand.
That was such like a Batman move. Like, I loved it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's just like plong.
What was it like?
Yeah, you heard. But there's like there didn't seem to be like a big emphasis on, everything needs to explode and everyone needs to get shot or whatever. But this seemed to be the more like, although the whole thing is supposed to be like a Western-esque kind of thing, this is the first one that really gave me a sense of that with the Marshal, obviously. little town plagued by either baddies or monsters or whatever, and he's the only one who's taken a stand, and he's got this sweet armour. The whole thing just reeked of an old western.
It seems more... The more it goes on, the more, like, everything that happens in this episode doesn't need to happen. Like, Mando could have just gone, no, bang, just take away all the armor and stuff. But he's proven more and more that he's not a lone gunman.
He's not a dick.
Like, is he? Yeah, is he an anti-hero?
He's not a dick. Yes, correct.
He's an actual hero.
He wants to help him out. But
I'd say
his way still.
Yeah, he wants what he knows what he needs to do, but I don't think he's prepared to do like
cutthroat.
Yeah, like not like in cold blood kind of thing. And the most we've really seen of him doing that is the episode on the prison, and he's going around taking them all out. And then there's most of them you're like, I can't believe he's killed them all, and it turns out he hasn't. It's like the one chance you should have fucking killed everyone, and you haven't.
Well, you say that. I mean, there's literally a point in this where he chases a guy down, strings him up by his ankles.
He's definitely dead.
Oh yeah, let's feast it on.
Let's wild animals eat him. I mean, that's
again, Batman.
It's like, I won't kill you.
I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
But I will turn the lights out, so they will definitely.
So
eat you.
in both instances,
so I know that's
they're
happen.
both dead. So and you haven't prevented it. You've done nothing. All you've done is aid. If anything, it's manslaughter.
Thing is, if he'd have given up the answer, that probably wouldn't have happened, would it?
True. If you hadn't tried to double cross him.
But he could have also just said, I'll tell you what, I'll leave you up there, I'll turn the lights off, and then you'll get eaten by weird red-eyed dogs. Or I'll shoot you.
Yeah.
So one, you get eaten to death, the other is I'll give you a quick...
And they'll probably eat you anyway.
Yeah.
But you won't care about it.
That's true.
Indeed.
I think we'll just jump straight in. Cobb Vanth. Everyone's favourite hitman. No one.
Oh,
there you go.
The elephant being in it.
And I want to say,
because
is he in? What's the diet thing where the girl has to wheel? Santa Clara.
Oh,
is that him as well?
Santa Clarita.
I thought
diet.
it was. Yeah. So that's what you know him from.
He is that guy.
And plenty of other things as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's not very good in him. I'll say that.
Film? Do you remember that film? It was like, I want to say My Next Door Neighbour. It was like that really geeky guy and that girl who's in a porno moves in next door, like the blonde hair, and they end up having a relationship, and it was like her director or whatever. He played. Okay.
No, so
I'm assuming the end of this story.
No one knows what
he was in that.
He was like the director guy.
Right.
He made the pornos.
I got
it's a good film.
Sounds it.
Yeah,
you know what else is good? The Mandalorian.
I think it's like porn. It's great.
The Mandapornian. Anyway, so in the extended universe, there isn't canon that might be canon because we've had a lot of little interesting Easter eggs in this episode alone that kind of bridges the extended universe with Cotter and whatnot. But here I have made a few notes in the novel Aftermath, which introduces the character of Cobb Vanth. He does acquire Boba Fett's armor, but he gets it in a jewel, and it's in a slightly different place. So they've changed a couple of things.
Is that a jewel with Boba Fett then?
No. It's, again, somebody's acquired the armor after the Sarlacc spat it out, or whatever's happened with it. In this, obviously, he gets it kind of by accident after the mining people have come in and taken over the little town. But otherwise, seems very similar. So they've only changed a few bits. And to be fair, I quite like the idea that it's happened by accident. Yeah, he showed that he's reasonably heroic. Like, instead of bailing straight away, he checks to see if the the bar owner is all right and helps him get out and stuff. Yeah. And then just fucking hightails.
There's like 10 guys that have just walked in. You're here. We're probably the only ones that can get out. It makes sense. And then he just grabs a bunch of super expensive crystals and walks off into the desert.
Another Easter egg. That the canister he takes is the milk thing, the ice cream maker from the old films. Makes its appearance again. So, you know, in Mandalorian, I can't remember what episode it is, but you get a canister that's got all the Beskar in it.
Oh yeah,
that's a prop from the original trilogy, and it's actually an ice cream maker.
No way.
And it's that.
Does it actually still make ice cream?
I'm assuming it doesn't work anymore. But it's the same one that the crystals are in this episode. I also like that the Jawas, they took all the crystals and then they were like, we'll give you this for it. We'll give you this for it. So you've already got the crystals. So just kick him off the sandcrawler.
Any attempt to do a voice?
No.
Okay.
Are you?
No.
There you go.
I mean, that's a completely different race from what we were talking about. And that's the sandcrawler's the big machine.
Yeah, I know, but the
Jawas. No.
Are they completely? Oh,
yeah, you're on about the sand.
I'm on about the sand people.
You're on about the Tusken Raiders. We'll get to those in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he gets the arm and he goes back and he does the sweet. Do you remember Mr. Sunday Movies talking about years ago? One of the Boba Fett toys was taken off the shelves because the rocket launcher, kids were choking on it, so they had to recall it back.
Right.
And obviously the movie did in this is that toy, which is pretty cool. I thought there's a lot of nice little nods to really old relics.
Because I always thought that the rocket launcher was positioned poorly.
Yeah, right, you're right.
Faces like, because if you just look back a bit, it's just going to ding off the back of your helmet or just explode.
You've got it all lined up, and then it's like Boba. It's like, yeah, he's gone. But the little eye visor.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that sort of like goes up with it and stuff. Yeah,
I don't like how he managed to get the armor, get back, and he knew how everything worked.
Yeah.
Immediately.
It's because it comes with instruction manuals and right inside the helmet. There's like a little book that you can take out. It's got
tutorial.
Yeah, it's.
Can you imagine if
it's in English and then German?
The Mandalorian, and Tatooine. Oh, I don't know what they speak there. English, I suppose. Can you imagine if he's gone down, he's lined it all up, and then it's an update, and he's got to wait. Like, fuck.
But if your head's not the right size for that, you bend forward and that rocket.
It's just going to catch the top of the helmet.
Yeah, and just take it off and just fly it towards the enemy.
But he does not fill that armour out well, does he?
Skinny dude, isn't
he? He is, but it's just sort of like, he's like red turtleneck.
Yeah.
Thing he's got going on.
Because they've obviously only got some of the parts of it, rather than the whole thing.
Yeah. But it's when he sat down and then took it off and then put it down, it had the dent.
Yeah.
Like in the... And then I was just like... Because when he walked in, I was just like, that looks like Boba Fett's armour. But it doesn't see... Like, it's... Because it's like a beige under thing that he's usually wearing. I was like, there can't be... If that is, they fucked it. And I can't quite tell what they've done wrong here, but I know that there's something not right. And then he takes it off, which is why Mando's sort of like...
No!
Yeah.
That's literally the one rule. Mm-hmm. It's the one rule that we have, right? And then as soon as I saw the dent in the head, I was like, fuck me, it is Boba Fett's armour. So I was like, okay, well, he's dead. I guess that's one thing that we can rule off. Because why has this dude got it?
Yeah,
Or
makes sense.
Again, Sarlacc's eaten him, spit the armour out because he can't do anything. Jawas have found it. Makes sense.
Does the Beskar stop acid then? Because you got two instances of this. You got Boba Fett's armour made it out of the Sarlacc, and then obviously future spoilers. Mando makes it out of the Crate Dragon, and I'm assuming they've got a similar subset of
because when he was spitting
acidic
acid,
tendencies.
it was like sizzling people, wasn't it? So
yeah, I don't know. I suppose it depends on the biology of a Crate Dragon.
I suppose
if you went down the wrong hole, I don't know.
I do like the little cheeky nod as well that the Crate Dragon has eaten the Sarlacc.
Well, that's what made me think, or maybe that's how he managed to. Okay, well, we'll just say it. Okay, Boba Fett isn't dead.
He isn't,
and he's very much in this episode, which was.
It makes sense that he isn't, but there's still a possibility because we still got this guy to think about, the clone.
Well, potentially it could be. It's definitely not Django.
No, it's definitely not
Django.
Django.
It could be Boba, or it could be any any other clone trooper.
Yeah.
Any of them. However, why would he be on Tatooine? And why would he go, I want that armour?
Yeah, why he looks so pissed off. Just be like,
If it gets to, like, I don't care if we have to go, if we never see him again for another few episodes, that's irrelevant. But I don't want to get to wherever this arc is going, to then they go, nah, it's Commander Rex. And they go, so why was it the end of this episode?
Wasted.
Some rando clone.
Yeah.
Like,
rando fat.
Because why would any of the clone troopers have like any association or want for Mandalorian armor?
Mm-hmm.
Like, surely if they've got away from Order 66 and the Empire or whatever,
stay
then,
underground.
yeah, Mandalorian armor's not really going to be that big of a deal for them. But
not now. Not now. The Sith are gone.
Oh, that's my armor that guy has got over there. That makes infinitely more sense.
Yeah.
If it's not, then why even bother? Why put the armor in? Why put him in?
It seems very, very weird for it to be such a... Like, this is a real cliffhanger moment. And if that's not Boba Fett, there's absolutely no payoff. It can't be anybody else, and we'd be as excited about it. Mm-hmm. That's impossible. And I'm very hard to please.
Because then if it's just like, oh, I'm just a clone commander.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't give a shit about you then.
Is this your
I've literally watched thousands of you get killed in all the other films. It makes no difference. Yet this guy, he's been useless throughout his entire career, except when he was a kid, possibly. So I want to see him come up to Mando and just be like, that's my armor, man. I want that back. And he's like, well, no, I'm not going to give it you. And he's like, right, okay, well, let's sort this out. And then he wipes him out in like 3 minutes. Like, if they want to put Boba Fett in this, he needs to be completely useless, which means that he's going to fly off and smash into a wall or something.
He gets his armor back, and then they have a fight, and Mando does what Luke did. He's like,
just smacks him in
the
back.
And then the Krayt Dragon comes up. He's like,
but then he just finds another Sarlacc somewhere. And he just...
I kind of want that to happen. Like, after all this time.
I think it would be, it would be super cool if they just acknowledge the fact that he's just a joke, really. Because like, if he comes in, he can't just be as good. He needs to be the best, or he needs to be Mr. Magoo. Like, he just needs to like, he can't hold his gun properly, or like he'll draw it but it's facing the wrong way or something. I don't know, but it has to be he's either like the best Mandalorian ever, or he's just an absolute...
Is Boba Fett an actual Mandalorian? He's not, is he?
No, because I don't think Jango is, unless Jango is in the same way that this Mandalorian is, but Boba's
so really Mando's got no...
So I assume that his armour is his dad's armour?
I think it's a modified version of it, because I think he gets the helmet back, at least. I'm not sure about the rest. Could be wrong.
Well, the helmet looks the same across the board, really, doesn't it? Like, all Mandalorian armour... helmets, seem to be the same.
Except Mando's. Is it slightly different?
No, it's the same.
It's the same faceplate.
I know the back of it's different because it's got like a thingy, like a this ridge sort of spine thing going down the back of it.
I think it's more for comfort than anything else, probably. But fun fact, Zoe.
It's his air conditioning unit.
It's a bit warm. He's like. Fun fact: Darth Revan, friend of the show, his mask is a modified Mandalorian.
Oh, right.
Mask. A female one, no less. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, look cool as shit.
Well, it's probably because Mandalore, leader of the Mandalorians, was part of your party in Dance of the Old Republic. So that would make sense. And plus, in the Jedi Civil War with the Mandalorians, they fucked them over hard. So it wouldn't surprise me that there was plenty of helmets.
I imagine there probably is somewhere just for them to go and pick. I mean, to be fair, like on the Force Awakens, there's quite a lot of helmets and stuff where the flags are and that. But something else interesting, Dan, is I don't know if you picked up on this. I'm just going to show you something that I really, really liked. So during the episode, the ratio of the screen changes.
I did. I only clocked it once.
At the end. It only happens the once. But basically, the whole thing, I've made a full note of it. So normally it's in a 21:9 letterbox cinematic ratio. But as the crate dragon emerges, the screen gets
also
bigger.
I hate their run. They look absolutely ridiculous.
But I quite liked it just for the fact that this is a big scale thing, and then the screen changes to reflect that. I thought it was quite interesting. Well, we're going to stop showing that because we can't show it.
But I think you're right. Like, especially when he's like speeding away at the end, and then you just see it sort of just close in a little bit. It just sort of adds a bit of atmosphere.
There's a lot of thought has got into not just this episode.
Goes into every episode, though, doesn't it? He's like literally thought of every little thing.
There's a couple of episodes in the first season that I think were just kind of filler, and had they been 4 longer episodes rather than 8, they wouldn't have felt so meh. Like some of the like the last episode that Taika Waititi directed was my favourite episode.
Because you love him, that's why.
No, it was the best episode.
Yeah, it was good.
It was such a good episode.
That's good.
And I'd probably say this is probably my second favourite episode so far.
Well, the thing is, because obviously we know that Rosario Dawson is going to be Ahsoka Tano, which is
real good casting choice.
I mean, for one, great casting. 2, coming off the back of the Clone Wars, like the final season of the Clone Wars and Rebels, obviously she's been a big part of that as well. To see that transition into live action is going to be.
They need to fix the Twi'lek,
but
dress up clothes. They need to fix the clothes. Like with a lot of the costumes in the Mandalorian, a lot of the non-human characters don't quite work for me, and I think they need to fix that for Ahsoka. She's got to be perfect. So, like for example, the Twi'leks in the aforementioned prison episode, they didn't look good. I forgot what the race is called, but the ones who were fighting at the start of this one.
The piggy looking one.
Yeah. Gamorreans. They look fucking god awful. And I
see. I disagree. I really quite like them. I think that for a big wrestling pig monster,
they did the best of what they could, and it did work.
It works.
What threw me off mostly was the effects of the blades hitting. That
I do agree with. It did seem like they were actually really fighting. It seemed more like a wrestling sort of thing. So it just sort of like. Yeah, so it just sort of like, they'd have a bit of a swing and it would make this huge shockwave. And it's like, well, you didn't really seem to put that much effort.
I mean, they are quite big, bruting things, so they wouldn't have to put that much effort in, I suppose. But I
suppose. But then, the boss character, the Cyclops, he was at that thing. Like, his lip syncing was not perfect, but considering that's kind of like an animatronic head or
I still prefer they've gone with the animatronics rather than CGI in a lot of the stuff in,
a big CG block.
I mean, it's not bad by any means, and I think with the main people, so you've got what was his name from season 1? I have spoken.
Quilo?
Oh, the little gruff guy.
Yeah. I say Quilo. I think that's a.
Oh, I can't remember. You know what I mean. We'll put him up on the screen.
American Dad.
The animatronics on him was amazing, and on the behind the scenes,
that was really good.
Thing on Disney Plus for the Mandalorian. There's like 9 people controlling that thing. You got like there's a somebody in the costume, and then you got people with remote controls doing different animation switches and stuff. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really good. And with Ahsoka presumably being a main character, I imagine they'll have the same amount of effort. Obviously, she's not going to. Rosario Dawson's not going to have animatronics, but
no, I
think they'll put more effort into her costume and the makeup and whatnot.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I think like however we've seen her in Rebels, because Rebels and this are probably going to be closer timeline wise than anything else that we've seen.
No, this is after the Empire's fallen, isn't it? So Rebels is before
See, I don't know if it's...
Yeah. Rebels is before A New Hope.
Is it? Oh, yeah, of course it is.
So the last time we saw her in Rebels, she was obviously with Darth Vader, wasn't she?
Yeah, because...
No, the last time you see her with Rebels is the last episode.
Did she come back? I can't remember.
Yeah, because spoilers for anyone. Have you... There we go. So there's enough about that then. She died. You never see her again. No. Rebels is set before A New Hope, and Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire. But it's I don't know how many years it is before The Force Awakens.
Okay.
There is a thing somewhere.
I'm sure it's been confirmed somewhere, but I always thought it was about 10 years or so. But there's still one thing that does bug me though, and it was something else that I saw, like, because there was like a season recap at the start of this, where it's just like, it's what was the name, the female Mandalorian, like the blacksmith.
The blacksmith lady.
Yeah, it's like the armourer or something.
There is some of them. We'll go with that.
I can't remember, but she's the one, like in that last episode, I think it is, where she's like, oh yeah, so years ago we fought these people called Jedi, like these ancient sorcerers and things like that. And I know it's because obviously we're overexposed to who Jedi are or whatever. And I was like, really, Jedi? Never heard of them.
Well,
no?
Say this later on.
Like there's temples on all these different planets. There was thousands of them. People know what the Force is.
Oh, a lightsaber is.
Yeah. Like, I just don't get that there are people... I mean, I suppose if you were so far removed in a little planet somewhere, maybe it would be a legend or an urban myth or whatever. But he's in a ship flying around, seeing all the galaxy or whatever.
You say being a hitman, you're getting to explore.
A hitman? He's not a hitman.
Essentially.
Bounty hunter. It's a bit different. But like, even when he meets up with like the rebel shock trooper, he didn't go, rebels? For what? Like, so if you know about the rebellion and the war, like a General Luke Skywalker, who he defeated Darth Vader, he blew up the Death Star. Like, it's stuff like that should get you renowned enough to be like, oh, how did he do that? Is it because he's a fantastic pilot? No, it's because he's a Jedi.
He's a Jedi.
Can use the Force.
But she says
it shouldn't be that.
But when he goes to the I forgot her name already. Pelly Mott, and he opens his man bag, and the child is in there. His bounty hunter bag. And she's like, oh, praise the Force.
Yeah. You'd be like, what's the Force?
Yeah.
So like,
the Force?
Yeah, and he's like, what? Yeah. Give it back, you fucking weirdo.
Crazy lady.
Crazy cat lady.
Yeah. But as like the armourer woman was saying, she's like, oh, years and years ago, we had this like huge thing. Again, it was, I don't know as to whether it's going to be the same thing as like the Jedi Civil War, when, like, because in Knights of the Old Republic, which again isn't necessarily canon, but I think the history of that is really interesting. It should be something that's brought through. But the Mandalorians were going apeshit, basically. They were just conquering everything.
Yeah.
And the Jedi refused to help, which is when Revan and Malik decided to take a group of Jedi and help fight the Mandalorians back, which is why the Mandalorians don't like Jedi, because obviously they can't really tell Jedi and Sith apart. They're just like, you killed
they're all Force users,
tens of thousands, or exactly, so they don't like them. So if he's been brought into this creed of this Mandalorians,
you're going to be told all that sort of stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be my thinking. Like, why would he not be told about, oh, by the way, if you see someone called a Jedi, definitely kill them, because like, as soon as you've got the chance to, do it, because if he gets the drop on one, sure, or throws a grenade at them before they realise what's happened, whatever. But if he just pulls it, like, it'll be exactly what happened with Django. You shoot at Mace Windu, he stops them and just cuts your head off, because what threat could you possibly be? So, like, Ahsoka, because she's really quite powerful as well, like, if they went face to face and he pulled a blaster on her, he's not walking away from that.
Do you think...
Like, I mean, she wouldn't kill him, but...
Do you think... See, now what I was going to say was, because of Sabine Wren, and Rebels is set a long time before this is, do you think there's anything in there where the Mandalorians now trust the Jedi because of Kanan and Ezra?
but did they like come out, for lack of a better term, like, because they were obviously trying to keep it quite low key because they were being chased by Inquisitors and whatever.
No, they Kanan and Ezra and all of the rebels helped Sabine reunite.
And her mum and that.
They formed.
Mandalore because Mum became Mandalore.
Yeah, because Sabine Wren won the title to the Darksaber, and then she gave it to
Moff Gideon's now got.
Yeah, but because she gave it to Bo-Katan, and then now Moff Gideon's got it. So that can only assume,
what's happened.
He
to that.
murdered his way to get it.
Yeah.
And I can't help but think, Sabine won't be dead, but I can't help but think that maybe. I mean, it hasn't been said. Nothing's been said, but it would make sense that these group of Mandalorians can trust certain Jedi because it was the Jedi in a fashion that brought them together. See where I'm going? I know that's a really long way to go to get to that point.
I know. I get what you mean, but then you wouldn't distrust them, and as soon as you saw, Clonda, like lift that rhino thing up, you'd be like, that motherfucker's got the Force.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be going, like, you can lift things just with his mind? I don't understand.
Well, I can't remember. Did he know? Because wasn't he knocked out for that bit?
He kind of looks up, doesn't he, and sees it, and then he kind of goes down again.
Because I know he knows he can do stuff, but on that particular bit, I'm sure he's already given up the fight, and he's just got his fucking sword.
Because I'm pretty sure he goes to the little dude, and he's like, the kid did it. Like, you can do things or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he heals up the guild's bounty hunter guild guy when he gets like bitten or whatever, and like force heals it. But then that means that all of them there, and especially one who fought for the rebellion,
she'd know about it.
Oh, that's the Force, because that's what. Unless it is just like during the whole war there was Luke and that was it. Like, so no one else, or unless like you could of explain it away and said, well, when Vader went on the Jedi purge, like he killed all of them and destroyed all records and traces and history of them or whatever.
I mean, technically,
but you'd still know who Darth Vader is.
But the Empire's defeated now, so technically, Luke was the only Jedi around. Technically, not including the hundreds that appear in the TV shows.
Should it be in his lifetime? The rebellion,
Well, he was. It was during. Because they wasn't. Oh, what was the team? The fire team. They'll come to me in a minute. We'll move on. But he would have been young when it happened, but he would have been around.
So I mean, that would have been a big news, wouldn't it? So you know all about it.
Maybe he's just stupid.
Maybe. Like Boba Fett.
I don't know. It's just
maybe he's a real Mandalorian.
If Luke was knocking about and saving everyone and doing all of his Luke Skywalker stuff, did he ever go, by the way, I'm like a magic wizard and can do things and I've got a laser sword? Like, did anyone ever see him do any of that? Like, it wasn't like it was the Battle of Hoth and he just ran up the middle towards an AT-AT and lightsabered to death. Castle Hoth. There's a t-shirt.
True survivor.
AT-AT walking down Hoth with big frizzy hair.
So, like, they turned the Millennium Falcon into Kit. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, maybe they just used Jedi mind tricks so everyone forgot.
Like the Men in Black?
Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones came down.
Did you just lift that X-Wing out of that swamp?
No.
Don't worry about it. No, there's got to be a... I'm sure this is something that's been brought up in many a meeting at Disney. Bob Iger's there and he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this company, but people aren't happy with the Mandalorian. And apparently it's because nobody knows what Jedi is. And then they go, don't worry, we've got it. It's all sorted. Because they've got to explain it somehow. There's no way. There can't be a part of any of the galaxy that doesn't know about Sith and Jedi. There can't be.
Well, so when the Mandalorian was a kid, his family, his village or whatever, were killed by droids from the separatists, right? So if you're aware of that conflict with the separatists and the Republic, like there was Jedi temples. There were hundreds of them, if not thousands of them. Surely you'd know what a Jedi is.
That's what I mean.
Even by just name, not necessarily meeting one, like a judge, like Judge Dredd. Like
I am the Force.
You wouldn't have had. You wouldn't have had to have met a judge and watched them shoot someone on the street and given them a prison sentence to know what a judge is.
Legend, isn't it?
And therefore not to fuck
exactly.
with them.
Folklore, so to speak. Like, people have talked about it for generations. You kind of like, you sit down your little fires or whatever, and your grandpappy tells you tales of when he was young. And
Grandpappy Vader.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just passed down. It's not something we don't talk about that.
Because, I mean, to be fair, well, the same logic, they shouldn't have ever talk to Kylo Ren about his granddad.
Yeah. We say, I don't know. I think they kind of messed up on that bit.
Messed up on a lot.
What's a Jedi?
It's probably just a case of it's a good entry point if you haven't watched all of the films and all the TV shows and read all the books and know all the shit. Then if you're coming at it from, his point where he's just like, Jedi, I don't really know what that is, and people just sort of like just drip feed you exposition.
Yeah.
Before then, obviously, he's going to meet Ahsoka, and she's going to be like, "Oh yeah, there's Jedi's. Yeah, it's this whole thing. Here's my lightsabers. Shoot me! I dare you. Go on.
Yeah.
See, you can't hit me."
She's not a Jedi anymore, though, is she?
Did she walk away from the Order?
Yeah, like when she first comes back into Rebels, she talks about it, and she's still connected to that. She hasn't shut down. From
Still
the
got
Force.
But she doesn't
believe in the Jedi way, and she doesn't believe in the Sith way either.
She's a what's the word?
Technically a grey Jedi, yeah. She's gone full hog what Mace Windu wanted to do.
Mace Windu?
Mr. Windu. Winderlicks. His Saturday job.
I want to see what she... Because now, obviously, we know that Ahsoka's going to be in this, but now... I wouldn't have had a clue that Boba Fett was going to show up in this as well. It can't. Did you not know be already? Like seeing the armor, and I was like, that's such a good little touch of just like, oh, it is definitely the same, but no one's going to mention it because he's dead or whatever. And then Tamawera Morrison just turns around at the end, and I was like, are you kidding? Like, is it actually legit going to be him? Because if it's just like him and then there's like 60 of his previous clone trooper mates or whatever, then
we're just fighting over the armour. It's my turn to wear it.
Well, no, it's just one with a helmet, one with the shoulders, one with the shin pads. One gets the flamethrower.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to have a flamethrower off. And it's just going to be Boba Fett and Mando.
But like the armour might be fireproof, but the cloth in between it isn't going to be.
That's why the Marshal didn't have that. He only had the armour, like the actual Beskar armour, not the undergarments. Because I'm assuming
you could do with the bloody wash though. That stuff it looks like an absolute bag of shit compared to.
If it was like, see for yourself, at any turn the camera light moves, and it's the Boba Fett armour, but it looks as good condition as Mando's. You're like, pretty sure that's not Boba Fett's armour. I haven't watched it for a while, but I don't think it looked that good. So it had to look a bit wear and tear.
It does just look like, it looks like it's been through the digestive system of a horrible swampy pit monster.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, because it doesn't look like it can deflect blasters and stuff, and yet they show that it does, so it still works in the exact same way.
Well, I don't know if anyone's ever done like a theoretical breakdown of Beskar armour of... Because obviously, like bulletproof stuff, it's only bulletproof for so long, isn't it? You can only take so many hits.
Yeah, because it dissipates the energy from a bullet hitting.
So I'm assuming that's the same. That would be the same for Beskar.
Probably
longer than a Kevlar vest, but
no, but it's still just in pieces though. Like wherever that armor is just material underneath it. Yeah. So that's you get a knife in the side or something.
Yeah.
It's like Batman's armor. You know, it's only going to be armored in exactly the places.
Yeah, otherwise it'd be Iron Man. Well, you've got to have that mobility. So, like in the cracks and curves and stuff, there's got to be flexible, and that's where the weaknesses is going to be and stuff. But overall,
it just does look.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say, but that's why Boba Fett's just looks so busted.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, you know, like Mando's armor that he had in the first season where it gets fucked up by that rhino.
Yeah.
It's just, like, all covered in wires and it looks like it's just been through the paces. Yeah. But this new stuff that he's got just looks indestructible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just like he's taking bullets off it. He went in the mouth of a dragon and then exploded himself, and that didn't kill him.
Well, he used the electric part of his staff, didn't he? Yeah, because you get like the energy like, as he flies out like Superman.
Yeah, I do like the fact that he's still got his jetpack. I thought that would be like it's a one and done kind of thing.
I still hate he wears it. He still has his cape. Nobody learned from the Incredibles.
I like the cape. I think the cape's a great look.
Oh no, I love it.
Actually, that's just reminded me because obviously Timothy the Elephant's in Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, let's go and get this dragon thing. And Mando's like, nah, and just like bumps it on the back and he goes, and just flies off. And I was like, that's great. Classic Boba Fett. He doesn't even have to be in it for his armor to be ridiculous.
I'd forgotten about that bit, actually. But that's another thing.
That was a really good little touch.
The child is arguably the most important person in the galaxy at the moment. And then he's just like, what are you going to do? And he's just like, I don't know, look after the child. It's like, no, make him do it. You don't need to be eaten. You're only there for the armour.
Take the armour off. Off you go.
It's like, I don't understand why he didn't know he was going to get out of that. And obviously we knew he was going to get out of it. Can you imagine if that had been the trade-off? Mando did die.
Bob and then comes back.
No, and the Marshal takes over Mando.
Well, to be fair, because he's got like a whole like sort of Karth Onasi kind of gunslinger vibe to him.
Yeah,
I would be happy if because he had tremendous hair. By the way, just like this sort of beautiful like grey black sweep. Like he just looked like a proper Old West, but in a future setting.
Yeah, looked like something out of what's the show you love? We tried. Westworld. Looks like something out of Westworld.
Oh, Westworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd happily have him back. Let's say if you had like him and like Gina Carrera. Is it Gina Carrera?
Yeah, from Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the little dude is dead.
Yeah.
The bounty hunter guy, fine, but who cares? If he gets killed, I don't trust him anyway, so it don't matter.
Nah.
But like, so you've got like a rebel shock trooper, like this is built in like a Knights of the Old Republic style companion team.
Yeah.
Like they've got.
All we need is a Wookiee or a droid, and we had the droid. He's dead now, but we had a droid.
What about Oh yeah, I suppose that IG one. Yeah, that was the best one.
Yeah. He was perfect.
Yeah.
Just bang a Wookiee in there.
No, I'd say
Zafra, whatever his name is. I forgot his name.
Hanha.
Forgot his name. Hanha, that was it.
Yeah, but
Hanna-Barbera.
Oh no, because there was two. There was Hanha was in second one.
Was the one in the first one?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Because in the second one, like he's like a bounty hunter that's trying to kill the woman.
You got the HK droid as well that's on the ship, and you have to put.
Oh my god! Now that if you want to put anything in that only people who would ever played Cotter, put HK-47 in there.
Yeah, he was a cool droid.
Yeah,
he looks shit, but he was a cool droid.
I think he looks terrifying. It's just this old like clunky robot that's just an absolute psychopath.
I don't think it helped that I played that about 3 or 4 years ago, and it doesn't look good. I think that's what's stuck in my head. I just remember him looking like a block of cheese.
Yeah, I mean I mean, like if you compare it to like
cool droid though.
Was it Fallen Order? Then everything looks like shit really. But yeah, that is a droid I'd love to see, or the Ebon Hawk or something like that.
Yeah,
even I'm assuming that. Well, like because I imagine like Crate Dragon pearls. That's got to be just a thing that just exists in the universe.
It's got to be something else. I don't think they've gone Knights of the Republic. Let's take this from that.
This one thing that you used to make a lightsaber with. Let's put that in as a reference. Sure.
It's got to have been in some of the books or
mentioned.
something like that. Yeah.
Like Nar Shaddar's a place that you can go to, both of them. But Revan seems like the most obvious. But again, though, because I think that you could do this sort of like Jedi Civil War with the Mandalorian thing. Like that is a great piece of history that doesn't have to be mentioned in any other film ever. But it would be an opening for the Mandalorian and a Jedi to have that kind of interaction and that kind of history. But then, because then all you'd have to do is just name drop Revan, and then everyone would go
mental. And so just be like,
who?
You go, the one we talked about.
He was a Jedi, then a Sith,
cool.
just like,
and then a Jedi
Darth
again,
Vader.
And then a Sith.
Well,
we went back and forth a couple of times.
Well, no, because after he turns into a Sith, he gets knocked out, gets amnesia, and that's where the game starts.
Exactly.
However you play determines how
in the
he wants to end
books.
up.
In the books.
No one reads, you fucking nerd.
Okay, comics. I apologise. They are my books, but I think we talked about this enough. I give it 3 childs. No, I give it 5 childs out of 5 childs. The childs, Baby Yodas. I need a better scoring system.
5 Boba Fett.
I give it 5 Womprats out of 5.
Were those Womprats that were in this? Because I swear the design of the Womprat has changed.
I don't know if it was a Womprat, but it was a rat.
It's a desert rat
creature. Yeah, so it could have been. Have been. Well animated though.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was an excellent start to an excellent show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to this season.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think the question for me is how long before Ahsoka turns up, and how long before Boba Fett turns back up again? Because is that just going to be something that's going to show up later on down the line?
It seems a bit of a rush to go Boba Fett in episode 1, and then we get to see him in episode 2. And then that's too much of a rush. But I also think it's too much of a rush to go Boba Fett, Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's going to be nothing next episode, and then one of them the next episode. Because we still need to get back to
they did with in Daredevil, season 2 of Daredevil.
Oh, they're going to blind him
at the start of the season, and then they had Elektra towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
So there was a point where one dropped off, and then the other took over as like being a part of that story arc.
But
so
makes
now
sense.
That they've shown Boba,
makes sense.
Maybe he follows through for a couple of episodes, and then he drops off when he gets his armor back or whatever. And then you have, like, because they keep on saying that he needs to take the child back to his people.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, I've never seen that species before, because, to my knowledge anyway, no one knows anything about that species at all.
I can only assume his people will end up being Force
Jedi
users rather than whatever race Yoda is going to be.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, because that with him knowing that there's other Jedi, or there's creatures that can do magic stuff. Like, I get the fact that they're just sort of like, oh, I need to find someone else who looks like this.
Yeah.
So I reckon that when he comes to like face to face with Ahsoka, she will be the one who'll be like, "Bye, Zoe."
I've got to get
She stood up. She's only here. She's still listening.
Hi, I'm listening.
Bloody hell. But he's gonna be like, "Do you know anything about this child?" And she's gonna be like, "Well, that looks like a guy who used to train me many years ago."
I never thought about that, actually. When Ahsoka shows up, she's going to clock it instantly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe that'll be the thing. Maybe this is the last Mandalorian season, and Ahsoka's going to take the child.
No.
Makes sense to get.
What about you're an idiot?
But no, if his mission is to reunite him with his kind, and that kind ends up being Force users.
Yeah, and then he's going to be like, wait a minute, don't I hate you because you're all Jedi and you all fucked us all over years and years and years ago? I don't trust you, random Twi'lek with the Force, with this kid who's,
I mean, to be fair, she has killed some peeps.
Well, that's it. Like, where's she going to sit in this world? Is she going to be out for truth and justice and all that good stuff?
I want to see
like...
Sabine. That's what I want to see more than anyone. And Ezra and Kanan.
Well, we haven't seen
everyone from Rebels, basically.
Well, we haven't seen anyone from Rebels cross over as of yet.
Yeah, we have.
Except
Rogue One.
No, that's just the ship. The ship, just the ship doesn't count.
Yeah, they say Commander Hera, and we see Chopper.
No, they don't.
Yeah, you do.
They say General Syndulla.
That's it. Yeah.
That could be her. That could be her dad.
Well, can't. Her dad's dead.
Well, if they're going, can General Smith come to the briefing room? Maybe it's a super popular name. You don't know.
So it's Flying the Ghost. They say Syndulla, and we saw Chopper.
Well, a robot's a robot's a robot.
Bollocks,
and a ship is a ship.
It was definitely Chopper. It was confirmed to be Chopper. I know Dave Filoni confirmed it was Chopper.
Oh, cool.
So,
but Hera is in Squadrons.
Yeah.
The new
she was
Star
on
Wars
the
she was
on the trailer at least. I saw her anyway.
Yeah, but she's actually she's not like a playable character or whatever.
Yeah, you just
but
speak
she's
to her.
in it and giving missions and whatever.
What
so
time periods is it set in then? Does it specify?
It's just after the second Death Star, I think. Because you're still based on an Imperial Star Destroyer.
Yes.
So it sort of it time jumps.
Right.
A bit, but I'm pretty sure that they do say that the second Death Star has been blown.
Is it
or
canon
one of them,
though?
At least.
Is it canon? Because Battlefront 2 is canon. Well, that
I believe
that
it
doesn't
is.
mean that Squadrons is.
No, I believe it is because you're quite right. The campaign for Battlefront 2 is, but it's one of the only. I reckon Squadrons is as well because it doesn't deviate.
It might be because I know EA had got the rights, obviously for the Star Wars games anyway, but Disney had to sign off on the script and story for
what they were doing.
For Battlefront 2 campaign. I assume probably same with Squadrons, but I couldn't say for definite. But yeah,
Fallen Order's canon, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I guess it's just whatever properties they're actually making that have got some sort of story elements to them.
I suppose because
they'll all be canon.
Saying that, completely irrelevant, and we will wrap this up very promptly. I heard a rumour yesterday that Force Unleashed 3 is in development.
What?
Don't know. Because, I don't mind another Star Wars game, but if we're bringing stuff back, where's my fucking Cotter? Where's my Fallen Order Darth Revan edition? I'd love that. So good.
I just... There's so many Star Wars games. Squadrons is great because it's a remaster of the old X-Wing TIE Fighter games. Fallen Order was perfectly fine.
I loved it.
But
the newest one.
A proper Star Wars RPG. Yeah, I want that better than a new Force Awakens God of War smashing shit.
I mean, I'll play it if it's true. It might not be true. It's just a rumor I heard yesterday. But out of the two, I would much rather have. I can have Force Unleashed next year, say, or I can have Cotter 3 in 2-3 years' time.
5 years.
I'll go with that. Yeah. I'll wait. 100%. As long as they release a texture update for the other two, they're bringing it up to next-gen graphics. But this has been Castalorian. Again, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a great start to the season. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to more. Obviously, Mandalorian is on Disney Plus every Friday. I believe is the air date.
It's when it came out, wasn't it?
So the same day as Star Trek Discovery. So my Fridays are very fun.
I thought there was a bloody war going.
Judgmental flies in the room.
Anyway, Dan, thanks for joining us.
Nice to see you.
Zoe, thanks for living here. And me, thanks for sorting this out. And Baby Yoda.
The child.
Noticed,
Baby
Dan,
Yoda.
but I went with Anakin's lightsaber colours today. I went with green and I went with red. That was it.
That's all from Pokemon.
Bye.
In the background.